Welcome back to ALPB Roundup. I'm Ryan. We're here. We had a great weekend of baseball, and we have 5 huge series coming up this week. So we're going to jump in and we're going to preview all 5 across the Atlantic League. We'll start with the battle of division winners in Gastonia, where the Blue Crabs take on the Honey Hunters. The Blue Crabs enter with an 18-3. Goodness, 18-3 record. They've won 5 straight. They lead the North by 9.5 games already. The Honey Hunters, they're 16-5. Bounced back from a tough stretch by winning their last 2 games against Staten Island, and they lead the South by 1.5 games. Projected starters for this series look like Mitch Lamson, Eddie Butler, and Mackenzie Mills for Southern Maryland. For Gastonia, it'll be John Anderson, Marcus Walden, and maybe Jerry Keel, it looks like it could be. What to watch for? Well, there's talent everywhere on these teams. Southern Maryland, they enter the series with the league's best offense and second best pitching staff. Gastonia enters with the league's third best offense and third best pitching staff as well. So really bringing it on both ends here. The Rockers are in the mix on both sides of that box score when it comes to the league rankings of offense and pitching. That is going to add urgency to the series, trying to get some wins above them if you're Gastonia at this point. Projections for the series, according to the numbers, the Blue Crabs have a 40% chance to take 2 out of 3 and a 15% chance to sweep. Meanwhile, the Honey Hunters have a 35% chance to take 2 of 3 and a 10% chance to sweep. Elsewhere in the South now, that was the only interdivision matchup we got this week. Everything else is going to be divisional. So that we got the Legends traveling to High Point to face the Rockers. Now, both teams are looking to gain on Gastonia. The Legends just lost 4 out of 6 to the Genomes, falling to 10-12. They are now 6.5 games out of first place. The Rockers just took 2 out of 3 from the Ducks. They enter with a 15-7 record, just 1.5 games behind Gastonia. Projected starters for the Legends, you got Tom Dormany, Jeff Thompson, and maybe Kevia Sampson, with Mason Cole being injured lately. The Rockers have Austin Glorious, Justin Nicolino, and Jason Manzueta. In my opinion, the Rockers have the league's best offense and pitching. The Legends are bringing the league's 4th best offense against the league's best pitching staff, so we'll see how that goes. That'll be an interesting matchup, testing both ends there. The Legends, though, their pitching's been inconsistent, and they're not bringing their best in rotation-wise here. So the Legends' inconsistent pitching will definitely be tested against this Rockers offense. Projections give the Rockers a 44% chance to win 2 out of 3 and a 29% chance to sweep. The Legends only have a 23% chance to win this series and a 4% chance to sweep, according to the numbers. On to Lexington now, where the Dirty Birds are facing the Genomes. The Dirty Birds, they look to bounce back from being swept by the Blue Crabs, but I mean, who hasn't been swept by the Blue Crabs at this point? Unless actually one of the teams in Lexington. I think they're the 2. I forget who had the 3rd win against them. High Point. There we go. I'm piecing it together now. We're getting a little stretched out now that we're getting into the year. But the Dirty Birds are now back to 500 after that sweep with an 11-11 record, 5.5 games behind Gastonia. The Genomes look to keep their momentum going. They've now won 7 of 11 after a tragic start to the season. They are now 9-13, 7.5 games behind Gastonia. Projected starters for this one, Charleston should bring Kit Sheets, Jose Mesa Jr., and Derek Adams. Genomes look to put Robbie Scott on the bump. He just had a good start. They've been looking for that from him. Max Povsey and Nate Pedden. Third of the way through the first half here, both teams need to stay in contact with the top of the division standings. The Genomes' offense has improved to about league average, but they still have the 9th ranked pitching staff in the league. The Dirty Birds' offense is also around league average, but their pitching staff is 4th best in the league. They're leading with the top of their rotation into this series, so those 3 starters that Charleston's going with here, that's again Kit Sheets, Jose Mesa Jr., and Derek Adams. They have a 1.9 ERA between them so far this year, so that could be very interesting. Projections, the Dirty Birds have a 41% chance of winning 2 out of 3 and a 17% chance of sweeping. The Genomes have a 33% chance of winning 2 out of 3 and a 9% chance of sweeping. Lancaster and York meet up in York after benches cleared in Lancaster between these two this weekend. So far, Lancaster swept the first series between these teams, and York took 2 of 3 in the second matchup. Both teams are well behind Southern Maryland in the standings. Lancaster is 8-13, York is 6-15. Projected starters for Lancaster look like Brent Teller and Augie Silk, as well as Niall Ball, who has had a hot start to the season. I love that for Niall Ball. York, they got Alex Sanabia, Austin Nicely, and Jorge Martinez. Martinez looked good early here, but Nicely and Sanabia, they really need to get it going. Sanabia, I need to get that down. It's year 2 with him. That's on me. Lancaster, they bring the league's 7th best pitching staff and offense. York has the league's worst pitching and a historically bad bullpen to this point. I think this time last week, their ERA plus in the bullpen was 8. With 100 being league average. So, rough. They also have the league's 8th worst offense, or 8th best offense, so 3rd worst. But that's not really helping either. Probabilities for this one are close. The Barnstormers have a 39% chance to win 2 out of 3 and a 14% chance to sweep. 36% for the Revolution to win 2 out of 3 and 11% for the Revolution to sweep. Finally, in New York, we got Staten Island and Long Island battling for the first time ever. Staten Island was heating up before dropping their last 2 to the Honey Hunters. They are now 5-15, 12.5 out of first in the North. Brutal. Long Island continues to struggle, having lost 5 of 6. They are 8-12 now, still good for second place in the North, but they are 9.5 behind the Blue Crabs. Projected starters for Staten Island: Matt Solter and Anthony Rodriguez. I'm not sure about Game 3 because they've had weird scheduling. They pitched on Monday, so they might need to do a bullpen game in there somewhere unless they add somebody. Long Island running Hunter Caudell, Cody Beckman, and Brett Kennedy. I'm almost certain of that one. Long Island enters with the league's 6th ranked offense and pitching staff. Staten Island has the league's worst offense by a wide margin and a league average pitching staff to this point. However, Staten Island, their pitching staff is really carried by the top of the rotation, and they will not be leading with the top of the rotation in this series. That could hurt them, but the Ducks are doing the same. Specifically for the Ducks, Caudell and Beckman really need some good starts here because they've been struggling. Staten Island, as I said, league's worst offense. They need to get that going. Probabilities for this series: 48% give for the FerryHawks to take 2 out of 3, 13% for them to sweep, 37% for the Ducks to take 2 out of 3, and 12% for the Ducks to sweep. I mean, it's nearly a 50-50 split for these two teams, which is very interesting for that battle for New York. They have a name for that. I forget what that is. That's on me. I'll try to correct that. But that's what we got around the league. We got the battle of first place teams. We got battles of the 4 South Division teams that are given chase. We got a battle for New York. We got the rivalry in Lancaster and York where they had a fight to wrap up their series this past weekend. We got a lot of good things to watch. Division races heating up. Teams trying to stay in contact with the leaders. We'll see what they can do. I'll have roundups for you throughout the series, throughout the week. You can stay here for all sorts of ALPB content. I'm Ryan. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Twitter. Y'all have a good one.